He never imagined the quiet woman he bullied would end up being the one who buried his entire empire. His name was Cole Vernon, top-tier CEO, million-dollar rooftop parties, girls, cars, power. He thought he owned the world. He thought nobody could hurt him. He thought wrong. 'Cause the woman he underestimated had been collecting evidence on him for 9 months, and she was about to destroy him without ever touching him. My name is Emily Parker. I'm 32. I live just outside Chicago. 2 years ago, I scored a job at a marketing firm called Blue Echo Media. The moment I walked in the office, I knew this place wasn't normal. Expensive furniture, a $12,000 coffee machine, employees whispering every time a door closed. And then I saw him, Cole Vernon, the CEO, perfect haircut, $9,000 suit, smile like a senator during election week. He shook my hand like we were old buddies. You're gonna love it here, Emily. For the first 4 months, it was kinda perfect. Free dinners, bonuses, everyone calling each other team. Real Silicon Valley movie vibe. But slowly I started noticing weird vibes. I'd finish a big campaign project at home and send the files late at night, and the next morning someone else would get the credit. Her name was Lauren, the new senior manager. I didn't complain. I was like, whatever. Maybe she's just closer to Cole. Maybe they trust her more. But then it got worse. I'd join Zoom meetings and suddenly I was muted. They'd forget to unmute me. People would look at me weird in the hallway, like they knew something I didn't. One night I stayed late to fix reports for a client. The cleaning guy was vacuuming. I had my headphones on. I was exhausted. Then I got an email, accidentally CC'd to me. From Cole to Lauren. Keep stringing her along. She's cheap labor until you're ready. My stomach dropped. I wasn't a team member. I wasn't a professional. I was a tool. Just free work. That night something inside me flipped off like a switch. No more trying to earn my worth. No. More trying to fit in. No. More hoping some jerk boss would finally see my value. No, I was done being innocent. So I went cold, quiet, polite, statue mode. And I started listening. Cole would get drunk on Thursday. Nights in the office lounge. Fancy bourbon. And brag like a YouTube flexer. He'd say stuff like, dude, the IRS is basically blind. You just gotta hide the money, right? And everyone would laugh like it was a joke. But I knew what he meant. I just didn't have proof yet, so I started collecting. Screenshots, PDF copies, internal reports, transfer receipts. Every time a questionable document crossed my desk, I made a copy. I saved it on a private encrypted drive only I had. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell my parents. I was building a case. 3 months later, I found the first shell company, then the second, then the third. Fake vendors, fake consulting, millions out of the company. And meanwhile, employees were getting denied bonuses. Cole was literally stealing from us in broad daylight, and I had the receipts. The tension built into a steady, slow pressure, like water wearing through stone. I learned his schedule, his weaknesses. I watched how he left his laptop unlocked after 2 bourbon nights. I memorized names of shell vendors he mouthed, like he was listing trophies. I copied bank transfers while the server room hummed. While the night janitor pushed a cart past the glass walls, I hid drives taped under my desk drawer. I wrote down times, amounts, ledger codes. I labeled everything so when the moment came, it would be unambiguous. I didn't tell my story to anyone at work. People assumed I was petty, bitter about being passed over. That worked to my advantage. People like Cole love the idea that everyone around them is predictable, grateful, groveling, hungry for crumbs. That arrogance is the blind spot. It's the point where they stop looking over their shoulders. When the day came that Susan, the woman they promoted over me, walked into the office with that crisp promotion letter, Cole leaned back in his leather throne and toasted the room. He laughed, the same low, confident chuckle that had gotten him through board meetings and private jet selfies. He called me up to shake my hand like nothing had changed. Congrats, he said, fake warm. You'll land somewhere better. The day after the headlines broke, my phone buzzed before sunrise. Unknown number. When I answered, a calm male voice said, Emily Parker, this is Agent Carter. We received everything. We'll need one more signature from you. After that, your involvement is officially sealed. I didn't even breathe heavy. I just said, where do I meet you? He texted me an address. Federal Building, downtown Chicago. I Ubered there, signed the final paper. Before I walked out, he paused and asked, "You ever feel scared doing this?" I looked him straight in the eyes. No, he's the one who should be scared. While Cole sat in holding with his custom-tailored suit wrinkling like tissue paper, the feds dug deeper. One shell company led to 4 more. Offshore accounts in the Caymans. Fake investments in green energy startups. He stole millions and called it strategy. But with every layer Agent Carter opened, the picture got uglier. Cole wasn't just cheating the IRS, he was using employee identity info to funnel money. My co-workers' names. Signatures, all used in his schemes. Now the feds had identity theft. Wire fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, conspiracy. Cole Vernon was cooked. Meanwhile, the office fell apart. Lauren quit. Susan couldn't look anyone in the eye. All those employees who laughed at his jokes turned silent like ghosts. HR pretended nothing happened. Board members tried deleting emails like rookies. But the government had already cloned every drive. When the indictment hit the media, it crashed the company like a plane. Clients bailed. Stock tanked. Blue Echo Media filed for bankruptcy. The world Cole built on lies collapsed like a cheap shelf from Walmart. 2 months later, I got a letter. Federal seal. I opened it careful, slow. Inside was a single page. Your testimony contributed to dismantling a major financial fraud network. We thank you for your courage. I laughed, not loud. Quiet smile. Because I didn't need a parade. I didn't need recognition. I just needed the truth to land where it belonged. Fast forward 1 year. I'm in New York now. Lower Manhattan. I do forensic auditing, investigating corporate corruption for a living. They pay me more money than Cole ever offered, but I don't flex it. I walk to work with coffee in my hand like every normal woman out here. Nobody knows what sits inside my brain. All the patterns, all the silent red flags, all the ways numbers whisper when they're being abused. Sometimes I pass the federal courthouse. Sometimes I see armored vans outside. Sometimes I think of the day Cole leaned back in his leather throne and smirked at me like I was nothing. He's still there inside that building most days. Orange jumpsuit, no bourbon, no private jet, no $9,000 suits. He spends his days filling out paperwork in a cage. The same system he used to exploit now controls every minute of his life. People online comment on his downfall videos like it was some random twist of fate. They don't know the truth. The truth is, I saw him. I saw who he was, and I dismantled him brick by brick, data point by data point, night after night. So was it revenge? No, it was justice. When people underestimate the quiet woman in the corner, they forget who she is. She's the one who watches all the angles. She sees the exit routes. She waits for the right moment, and when she strikes, it's already too late. And what happened to Cole Vernon is the lesson that corporate America should never forget. Never mistake silence for weakness. Sometimes silence is strategy.